So what ends up happening is the U.S. government gets involved, much as in the same way as War Game. And you remember, Matthew Broderick in War Game got connected with the U.S. government, and they had to team up to try to stop this deadly computer that was attempting to wreak total nuclear annihilation on the Earth. And it's the same thing basically in Transformers. The only thing is the computer's been reduced to the size of a cube, and the cube, instead of causing a nuclear war or computer, the computer is bringing to life machinery, and these machines are turning into robots. But because these robots can transform or change shape, if you will, from cars to planes to helicopters, basically. There's even a scene, I think, where one of the robots turns himself into a radio. They're basically called Transformers. So they transform, and they basically transform into other forms, and so they're called Transformers. And so one of the things you're going to have to try to do is understand that when you do a remake, it's not going to be exactly the same. So if you've seen War Game, yeah, you've kind of seen this movie, but this movie has a few extra bonuses because it has better special effects. Most of the people that are in this movie are pretty much unknown, except for this kid that plays the son on Indiana Jones. So if you're interested, the ending, here it is, big spoiler. The U.S. government and the Matthew Broderick character in this movie end up actually destroying this cube by connecting it to one of the robots, and then the cube is destroyed. And then at the end, the only robot that's left is the original one that the Matthew Broderick character made. Of course, in this robot, now that the cube is destroyed, can't talk, because that's what gave the robot's ability to talk. But this robot could never talk anyways. He only talked through radio sounds. Now, there's a couple of problems with this movie that I found, and I'm not going to really complain about the movie because it was all right. And that is, there's some... There doesn't really... The connections between the first movie, War Game, the 90s cartoon, and this movie, it doesn't really connect. You just basically end up having three separate movies that kind of stand on their own. So if you're looking for continuity, and for those of you who don't know about comic books that are editing these things, so they didn't really do a whole lot of getting together when they edited this movie. What it came about, when it finally ended, the characters in the movie, who were based on the characters in War Game, did basically the same thing. The only thing they did different was the robots took the place of nuclear war, and the cube took the place of the computer. So that's about it on that. So once again, I want to go ahead and ask you to go use your internet. Go to these things. Your internet will take you to this, okay? Blows Himself Up Dude on YouTube and DeadpoolAndFriends.com. And then I'm actually going to be doing a .com and Blows Himself Up Dude on YouTube.